I mean, how classy was Justin Fields in his press conference?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, if you're not a fan of him or whatever, it's hard not to be. I'm pulling for him. And I got to be dead honest here. He would have been my quarterback. The kid has ability. So when you sit back, it could have been changed. It could have been different, had they, hired me or whatever. He would have been my quarterback. Okay, I believe in the ability that this young man has. How about we do something to help the guy?
Yep.
All right, the thing that's frustrating to me is when you see the New England Patriots taking off, every one of their players has improved. Every move they made improved.
Joe Flacco, so Stefanski will be forced to make Shedeur QB2. He said, no, I'm going to go Dylan Gabriel and then elevate Bailey Zapp, who's been awful in the NFL. Now, this is organizational malpractice if I've ever seen it. And let's keep in mind, in these trade talks, the Jets are desperate. They're 0-7. Aaron Glenn does not want to be fired. He's a really good coach, but his quarterback play's been awful. When in the history of the NFL has a backup quarterback ever demanded a second-round pick? I can't think of a single situation. I'm in disbelief, and this might be NFL collusion because there's no way you won't play him and you won't trade him, despite him looking.
Rex Ryan just dropped a bomb bigger than a New York heat wave. He straight up said the Jets should trade for Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, that's Shedeur Sanders, the guy making defenders look like they're running in slow motion while he's already celebrating in the end zone. Could the Jets really be cooking up the wildest, most unpredictable trade the NFL's seen in years? Buckle up, because Rex's fantasy playbook is pure chaos, and what's coming next will make your jaw hit the floor. And of course, the haters are already in mid-season form. They're out here saying Shedeur Sanders had no other options, like the universe just handed him a Jets or nothing contract and told him to take it or go home.
Yesterday, I was out a little early. I'm like, what is this? And a friend of mine from WFAN in New York sent me a text, and he asked me the question, and right straight out said no. And honestly, the reaction, it was flat out, why? You guys all hate him. I go, I don't hate him.
I don't think anyone here hates him.
I think there are some fans who, for whatever reason, maybe they hated his father or whatever, they've called in, they've tweeted here and there. I do think it's the vast minority of people hate.
Please, that's straight up nonsense. This is the peak of hater energy, the kind that has nothing to do with football and everything to do with jealousy. Imagine hating a quarterback so much that you're ready to write him off before he even throws his first pass in green and white. It's like judging a reality show contestant before the first episode airs. No context, no proof, just pure bias and bad vibes. That's the level of delusion some of these people are working with. Let's set the record straight right now. Shedeur didn't just appear out of nowhere. This man's a walking highlight reel, a touchdown machine with a golden arm that's got defenders questioning their entire careers. Yet somehow, the storyline floating around sounds like a late-night infomercial gone wrong. Nobody wanted him. He's overhyped. Please. These are the same people who couldn't throw a football 5 feet without it turning into a public safety hazard.
Real, the Cleveland Browns send Shedeur Sanders and their Jacksonville first-round pick to the New York Jets for Garrett Wilson. Now, I understand, a lot of you want Shedeur Sanders to get an opportunity and for Garrett Wilson to have a change of scenery. But I just don't see this trade happening. While I do think the Jets are going to be looking for quarterbacks on the market, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is one of the guys on the block right now. Especially because Cleveland's still trying to figure out what they have in these two rookie quarterbacks. And right now, a lot of their game plan involves figuring out what they have right now in Dylan Gabriel, and by the end of the season, knowing what they have in Shedeur Sanders so that they can approach the draft this coming off.
But suddenly, in their twisted little world, Shedeur Sanders only belongs with the Jets. Because reasons. It's hilarious. The haters are ignoring the obvious. He had options. Real options. Teams lined up to talk, but the man made a choice. Anyone with real football sense knows it. But in hater land, logic doesn't apply. In that world, talent only matters if it fits their narrative. It's actually kind of impressive, the dedication it takes to hate someone for being confident and successful before they even touch the field. You don't see that level of effort in most professions, maybe in politics or reality TV, but definitely not in pro sports, unless you're committed to being ridiculous. And then there's Kevin. Oh, Kevin. This man seems allergic to success. He'd rather tank every game, walk onto the field like it's a setup, and collect unemployment checks before week 10 than admit his best quarterback might be the guy sitting right in front of him.
The Jets asked the Browns about Shedeur's availability to be traded, and the Browns said they wanted a second-round pick. Keep in mind, they drafted this man with a 5th-round selection. He has not played in a regular season NFL game, but yet they want a second-round pick for him. Now, magically before the trade deadline, Shedeur is listed as questionable today due to a back injury and inactive versus the Patriots. And they elevated their practice squad quarterback Bailey Zapp to be QB2. Translation, the Browns never had any intention of playing Shedeur Sanders. He literally listed this man as inactive, so there'd be no chance he could possibly play even if Dillon Gabriel was terrible or got hurt. Browns fans, Kevin Stefanski.
The way he avoids winning is almost an art form. It's almost like Kevin's allergic to winning. You can literally picture his internal debate. Do I actually win? Or do I protect my reputation as the guy who refuses logic? And every time, he picks the second one. Always. It's pure comedy. The man's got a top-tier quarterback right there. A player who could light up any defense in the league. And yet he's on the sideline, probably scrolling through memes at practice because he knows he's capable of greatness. Meanwhile, Kevin's out here cooking up excuses like some football conspiracy theorist writing a book titled How Reptiles Run the Red Zone. It doesn't matter how many clutch drives Shedeur Sanders has led or how many miracle plays he's pulled off. Kevin will always find a way to ignore him. Fans see it, analysts see it, and even the critics are starting to shake their heads in disbelief. But the haters, oh, they double down because hating takes less effort than actually thinking. The whole situation's turned into a circus.
Up if you give up Shedeur, and if you're Stefanski, you are very upset at that development because Shedeur is essentially, he could be his get out of jail free card when it's all said and done.
Oh, I don't even think Kevin thinks like that. I think Kevin would rather get fired than play Shedeur at this point. That's the way it feels. I'm not saying that's definitively what it is, but I'm not doing charity work here. I'm not doing charity work for Shedeur Sanders, and by the way, he doesn't need it, and I'm sure as hell not doing it for the Jets. Make me a real offer. And so for Shedeur, you know, okay, a third and a future fourth, or 2/3. All right, maybe. But if you really want Shedeur, if he is the miracle salve to save the Jets, you come with a 5th round offer.
And Shedeur is the main attraction. It's wild, it's hilarious, and somehow it's real. You almost have to admire the creativity it takes to invent a narrative this ridiculous. If it weren't so unfair, it'd be impressive. Shedeur could have walked into half the league and instantly turned them into highlight machines. But instead, the storyline's been twisted into something absurd. Like he's trapped in football amber, frozen and unreachable, while everyone else pretends not to notice the glow. And Kevin, he's just there, watching it all unfold, shaking his head like a guy trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. You can practically hear his thoughts. Do I play him? Nah. Let's lose by 1 touchdown instead. That'll show everyone I'm consistent. It's madness. Meanwhile, Shedeur is probably texting his agent like, bro, what cosmic punishment did I earn to end up here? But here's where it gets funnier. The haters still have the nerve to lecture everyone else. They'll say things like, he should have chosen a different team, as if the Jets being his current squad somehow hurts his talent. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. What it really exposes is Kevin's complete inability to make a sensible call. And the best part, Shedeur's still winning. Even stuck in this bizarre situation, Shedeur Sanders is proving himself.
You know, the owner took his shot. This is where, you know, I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about the Miami Dolphins and the players-only meeting. This is one where we play for one another.
Yes.
You know, because you as a quarterback, you know, he took a shot at you. I would sit up here and wonder, like, is he in a bunker with us?
Yeah, no,
you know,
no.
He's not in our everyday operation with us. He's up there signing checks and making those professional calls. So I think, like you said, he sold the quarterback out, ran over him with the bus. I just hope that there's some way that this Jets team can rally.
Kevin can play clueless, and the haters can keep pretending they're experts. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. Shedeur could have gone anywhere, and he still would have shined. That's why they're bitter. It's not about fairness or football. It's about jealousy. They just can't handle the fact that his star burns brighter than their negativity ever will. Meanwhile, Kevin continues existing in his own alternate reality, a place where losing is preferable to being right. Every game is a new episode in his stubborn saga, every play a giant shrug at common sense. And Shedeur, he's sitting back, calm and collected, still looking like the MVP before the season's even really started. The haters are out here performing like it's the Olympics of delusion. They're twisting logic into pretzels so tight it could qualify as a new sport. Mental gymnastics, gold medal division. No other team wanted him? Really? Did anyone actually check rosters, schedules, or I don't know, basic facts?
What? A guy I think we all talked about him as a guy that could at least be a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL. They are not giving him a chance in Cleveland. If I'm Darren Muji, I call up my my contemporaries in Cleveland, and I say, here's a 5th round pick back. Here's your 5th back. Let's get Shedeur in here, and let's see what the kid has got, because why not?
If he comes to the Jets, amidst all of this and all the issues that are going on already, and he's just the brash guy that he was, how does that make it any better?
What if he's good?
It doesn't matter if he's good.
It doesn't matter if he's good?
Well,
You can't believe.
Of course not. Thinking comes second. Hating always comes first. It's practically a career for some of these folks, and man, they're overqualified. You almost have to respect the hustle. They're committed to spreading nonsense like it's breaking news. Week after week, the same recycled bad takes flood the conversation. And here's the truth. The haters aren't watching reality, Kevin's not watching reality, and Shedeur Sanders is the only one actually doing his job. And doing it at an elite level. The best part? The harder they try to spin their fake narratives, the more entertaining it becomes for everyone else. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck while eating popcorn. It's chaotic, tragic, and absolutely impossible to look away. You laugh, you cringe, but you keep watching because it's just that ridiculous. And at the center of it all, Shedeur remains calm, composed, and lethal. The guy who keeps turning every doubt into a highlight reel.
That the Jets reached out to the Cleveland Browns and say, hey, what do y'all want for Shedeur? And it's being reported or rumored that the Browns wanted a second-round pick. What the fuck? What? What? A fifth-round quarterback that has not played. Y'all want a second?
So yeah, let's break it down. Shedeur had options. Kevin had stubbornness. And the haters, they had nothing but hot air and recycled bad takes. Yet somehow, through all the noise, Shedeur Sanders stands tall as the undeniable force in this comedy of errors. He's not just silencing critics, he's clowning them. Every touchdown, every perfect throw, every win is a punchline to their nonsense. Sometimes talent doesn't just talk, it laughs, it scores, and it makes a complete mockery of anyone foolish enough to doubt it. And the craziest twist of all, Kevin still keeps his job. Somehow, in this alternate football universe, losing isn't just tolerated, it's expected. The Browns' front office seems to operate like they're collecting participation trophies. If losing were an Olympic event, they'd have more gold than Michael Phelps. Every Sunday, fans are screaming at their TVs, losing their voices, while the higher-ups nod like philosophers. Yes, yes, let the losing continue, it builds character. It's pure madness. Meanwhile, Kevin walks around with the smug confidence of a man who knows he's untouchable. Play your best quarterback? Nah, maybe next week? Keep losing? Absolutely. Job security? Check. It's almost impressive how broken the system is, but hey, at least it's entertaining. Watching a grown man refuse to do his job while the entire league watches is the kind of absurd comedy you'd expect from a streaming show, except this one's painfully real. And just when you think it can't get weirder, here comes Rex Ryan, stepping into the chaos like he's the moral compass of the football world. But let's be real, Rex doesn't want to see Shedeur succeed.
Cleveland Browns fans, let's go ahead and cut right to the chase. Kevin Stefanski is never going to give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity. He's not. And I think I understand the assignment now. You look at this game, and Kevin Stefanski is almost like the captain on the ship of the Titanic. He's going down with the ship. His way, nobody else's way. Myles Garrett just set a franchise record with 5 sacks in a game, and they lost 32-13 because Kevin Stefanski is not what's doing in the best interest of the team.
He wants to watch him fail, just so he can prove some twisted point about Jets' misery. It's dark, petty, and downright villainous. The kind of fan energy that hides behind the mask of analysis. The Jets have basically become the Mount Everest of football disasters. High-altitude chaos, impossible climbs, and thin-air optimism. And Rex, he wants Shedeur to scale that mountain with no rope, no oxygen, and no help. Just so he can say, see? Told you so? That's not analysis, that's sabotage disguised as commentary. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is probably scrolling through all this nonsense thinking, really? This is my fan base? This is my world? And yet, through all the noise, the man stays cool, focused, and effortlessly funny. His whole career has turned into a masterclass in staying unbothered while surrounded by chaos. Every bad take, every hater meltdown, every Rex Ryan hot mic moment, it's all just background noise while he keeps stacking wins, stacking highlights, and stacking his resume like a Jenga tower made entirely out of talent.
Jets to acquire Shedeur Sanders from the Cleveland Browns. And someone tell me why that's a bad idea. And I don't want to hear about it's a circus. It's a circus? What's this? What the hell is this that we're watching? Circus! That's a circus. Bad, crappy football is a circus. The Jets should have drafted this guy, I don't know, second, third, fourth. They got a million opportunities to draft him. He has not gotten an opportunity in Cleveland. I don't really care about the Cleveland Browns, so I'm not going to fight their battles. I'll let Josina Anderson take.
And here's the beauty of it. The higher the tower climbs, the more the haters panic. They keep trying to shake it, praying it collapses. But spoiler alert, it's never happening. The man's built different. And let's be real, the Jets are basically the Bermuda Triangle of football, where talent goes in and logic disappears. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, Kevin's running his own comedy special, refusing to play his best quarterback, losing like it's a performance art piece, and still somehow keeping his job because the Browns treat winning like it's optional. That's where the real punchline lands. You've got a player like Shedeur who could dominate anywhere, and then there's Rex Ryan sitting in his studio chair plotting disaster like a soap opera villain. And Kevin, he's out here building a resume of stubborn failure so consistent it almost feels like performance art.
He thinks there's a possibility the Browns could deal Shedeur Sanders before the trade deadline. Would that then open up an opportunity for them to activate Deshaun Watson? Do you think that's totally off the table, or is there a possibility Sanders could be dealt?
Well, they're covered if that opportunity arose, because first you got Zappy, who could serve as an emergency number 2.
Every storyline twists into the next until it's just one giant football-shaped pretzel of madness. The Browns normalizing losing, Kevin refusing reason, Rex rooting for chaos, and the Jets serving as a live warning label. And through all that insanity, there's Shedeur Sanders standing calm, collected, and locked in, laughing at the absurdity while quietly preparing to destroy expectations. You can almost picture the slow-motion scene. Rex gasping on air, Kevin shrugging in confusion, haters typing in all caps, and Shedeur just nodding like, yep, this is ridiculous, but I'm loving it. It's a perfect storm of irony, comedy, and raw skill. The universe couldn't have scripted it better if it tried. The Browns' tolerance for losing, legendary. Kevin's refusal to change, iconic in the worst way. The man's got the same stubborn energy every week, refusing to pivot, refusing to play the best quarterback, refusing to even acknowledge logic.
As much as Jets fans would love Shedeur Sanders, but I don't think either would be willing to give up Garrett or Shedeur for the other, because right now the team's plans rely on them. If you trade away Garrett Wilson for the Jets and then bring in a new quarterback, that quarterback no longer has any weapons to work with. You're asking Breece Hall to carry a lot of that offensive workload, and the Browns, in turn, would have a wide receiver, but not really the quarterback play that they can feel comfortable going into the draft process with. And then, of course, they lose that first-round pick, which provides extra flexibility for either a quarterback or a lineman to shore up that offense.
All while somehow keeping a job that would have vanished anywhere else faster than a busted coverage touchdown. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders keeps doing what he does best, winning. He doesn't just show up, he forces the world to pay attention. That's what separates him. Real talent doesn't ask for permission, it refuses to be ignored. And that's exactly what makes this whole saga so funny, so chaotic, and so perfect. Kevin will keep ignoring reason. Rex will keep rooting for drama. The Jets will keep being the Jets. But Shedeur Sanders, he's already beyond the noise. The eye of the storm, the calm amid the chaos, the player who turns every headline into proof that greatness doesn't need validation. Because at the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback, he's a force of nature. And the entire football world, with all its absurdity, bitterness, and chaos, is just the stage for his inevitable rise to greatness. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because this story, it's just getting started.